All right, what's up, people? This is going to be an uncomfortable video for some people. And before it becomes uncomfortable, I just want you to understand that I come out of no level of disrespect. So, we're talking about the Prophet Muhammad. Peace, blessings, and everything upon him. Okay? But what I want to understand is, I want to understand the man. Because what differentiates Islam from Christianity is that the central figure is not considered to be in any way a god. He is simply someone who listened to God, a prophet. So I want to think about what he was actually all about. And I think that there are very simple things that you can understand about this man. And the first thing that I have to say is that he is ultimately charismatic, meaning that when he speaks, you listen. And I think if you listen to the Quran, you will understand, because the Quran is his word, actually. I know it's Allah's word, etc. But what I'm saying is it's his word because it came through. He was a poet. Muhammad was a poet. And so when he spoke, and if you listen, if you've actually heard the recital of the Quran, you're going to be like, wow, it's got to be divine. Or maybe Muhammad was just really good at what he was doing. Because I think that if you look, and I've been looking at a lot of the, what you might call the later surahs, which are actually the earlier surahs, which is kind of weird. What are called the Meccan surahs, which tend to be late in the Quran because of the shorter ones. And then you start seeing that this is a guy that could actually inspire people. A guy that could get people to do things for him. And that's the nature of his, anyone who is considered to be a prophet will be able to ask someone to pick up their sword. Didn't Jesus say something like that? Pick up your sword and follow me? I don't know. I'm confused. You can go look that up. I'm confused. But, so to try to understand who this man was and how he could generate that, and then when you hear the Quran in the Arabic, but then also when you read it in a translation, whatever language you read, you're going to be like, wow, this guy is just like, he's hitting all the points. He doesn't have very many points. He doesn't need to. God is one. You know what I'm saying? That's his message. God is one. You perverted that. You know what I mean? And then, there must be what we might call justice on earth. So yeah, he was a social justice warrior. Sue him. He believed in that. The world was better for him being in it than for not him being in it. So that's what's called a pinnacle of existence. But we don't need to get into any of that. But the point being is that, like, when you really look at what the dude was saying, you're going to get this one concept, is that there is one God, and throughout history he has revealed himself, and that mankind has rejected him through all of the prophets, and that mankind thereby went into a bad place. That's kind of his message. Same message of all the prophets. And when you really understand in the way that the Quran is revealed, you're going to be like, well, this is one guy, and he's actually just, like, maybe one day he's giving an exhortation to, like, a military force, and he's, like, trying to rile up his troops. And then the next night, he's talking to his daughter, or maybe he's talking to his daughter, Fatima. Which is weird, because she actually married Ali. which that whole thing, we don't need to get into Sunni Shia fucking split, schism, whatever you want. But it's beautiful in a sense. So who is this man? They came out with a book. I forget who did it, but it was somebody important. It was called The 100. And in it, they ranked the 100 most influential personalities in all of history. Guess who was number one? I know, right? Yeah, Muhammad was number one. You had Isaac Newton up there, you had Jesus up there, and you had Paul up there. Those were the top four. I know Muhammad was one. I don't know how the other ones placed, but you can look it up. It's called The 100. It's an actual book. You can look it up and buy it. I don't know, because I'll make a commission. I make a commission on everything. You know what I'm saying? But no, seriously. The most influential man in history. And what did he do? He basically just conquered half the world under the banner of there is only one God. So I don't know, man. Is he a hero to me? Yeah, actually he is. But not in the way you would think. Because, like I said, I'm not a Muslim. But the thing is, I have so much respect for him, I might as well be. And they'll cut my head off anyway, regardless. So, I'm kidding. It's a total joke. But this is me, depicting the Prophet in the way that I depict him, the way that I think of him. I have a lot of love, and then at the same time, I have a lot of reservations. But hey, man, success breeds no contempt, at least as far as I'm concerned.